Hello, storyteller, storytelling run. I've decided to sit here and ramble about my game again because I just enjoy doing it. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. So this is Christians in Space, the Musing Foundry here. But this is some of the pages I have just for the players to look at when we're playing. By the way, if you're a Christian and you would like to be part of a fellowship, you can. And I'm doing a West Marches. I'm opening up a West Marches style post-apocalyptic setting where you're a missionary going out into the wastelands and evangelizing and having fun and fighting mutants too. So if you're interested in that, contact me. We'll join the Discord, and then because I'm trying to schedule people to jump in on one shots, but on as an ongoing West Marches style campaign. It's kind of like Star Trek or whatever, where you're all sort of in the same transport, and then whoever we can schedule a game comes out of the transport, goes out, explores one hex, sees whatever plot's going on there. And I have like random tables I roll up and prepare the hexes or the the areas. Go out, figure out it could be a battle, it could be fun, it could be some silly whatever exploration, and it's all should be one night of adventuring. I try to keep whatever's going on there very straightforward in one evening, and then you come back to the transport. So it's one shots. So I'll keep them pretty simple, story wise and exploration wise and all that. Anyway, back to this. I'm just going to explain the game. As you can see here, these are the weapon charts, and you got the low tech, high tech, and even ship armaments. And the damage is very similar to D&D or D20 style games, old school. You got D4 knife, D sword, D6 sword. And I want to explain something though about my game that's unique. It's got the same stuff. D20 system. You're using traits for your bonus, like an ability score. You get very same, +3, +4, +2. So that's all the same. Instead of armor class, I have defense, which is basically your dodging style. Not get deflection of something being hit. And that's usually like starts at 12 and it goes up to 14, 16, 18, whatever, based on your awareness. I consider awareness to be the real thing, not dexterity. It's situational awareness. Like someone can be super dexterous, but that doesn't mean they're smart and aware. What I found doing medieval armor combat. So this game, you have a defense, and then if you do get hit, you have an armor save. So if you're wearing armor, that you can roll that and reduce the amount of damage. So it adds quite a bit more dice in the game. I'd say it's a very dice game, but I just love it. It's, I'll tell you what it doesn't have. It doesn't have level limits. You can keep developing the characters. There's no level limits. You don't hit like 10th level and then you got to stop playing that character. What's my dog up to? I got his food out, but I'm waiting for it to defrost his meat. And I think he's lurking around it, trying to get it. All right. So what was I saying? Doesn't have level limits. So when you reach 10, there's no 10th level. You get glory points, and then you buy ranks in different skills, and you can come up with whatever skills you want. The game does have a list of skills, but you can just come up with your own. But also, you can increase the damage with your as a skill rank, like a die rank. You can actually increase these. All of these dice here, D4, D6, D8, D10, D12. That's 5. They all represent die ranks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including damage, including your skills, including whatever. And you can add die ranks to hit, and to damage. They're separate, and you gotta either train or you can even engineer upgrade them. This game is very expansive in that sense. That you can go into different all these different things. And the reason I believe that you can increase the damage on weapons is one, I do medieval armor combat, so I know I can train to hit harder, to hit more accurately, and hitting harder. Those are two different things in training. And I noticed that as you get better with your movements in swinging weapons, your damage does increase because of the ability to add that extra little oomph in there. And it's not necessarily accuracy either, because accuracy is different. So that's my experience. So I've created it this way. So these all represent die ranks. These and remember, here's the dice. Let me just to show you. And this is really what I love about this game. You've got the 5 dice that you use. Here's the Here's the D12. Let me see if I can hold on to these. D12, the D10, the D8, D6, Okay, and D4, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the die ranks. And so it's increments of 5, right? Groupings of 5. So if I have 10 die ranks in my skill, I have what? 10 die ranks. Well, the first 5 die ranks goes to D12. The second 5 die ranks goes to D12 again. So I have 2 D12s to add to my roll. Yes, I get a D20 plus my trait plus my die ranks. But here's the cool thing about it. It does the whole bit, kind of increases the bell curve. You keep the highest, right? So you have a D20 plus your trait, and then you have your die ranks, whatever it is. That if it becomes more than 5 die ranks, it becomes this dice pool, and you keep the highest, keep the highest. So if I have, let's say, just to keep it simple, 10 die ranks in something, I would roll a D20 plus 2, right? I would roll, this is my roll plus my 5 or whatever I have for my trait, but I would only keep the highest. Well, these are both 9, so I would keep the. Actually, I explode dice too. So if you roll a 7 or above in the dice pool, you can keep every one that's a 7 or above. So actually, I get to keep both 18. So that actually it makes the dice so much more expansive. They could fail. There's a broader range of not succeeding and then succeeding and then exploding dice. So as you get more and more die ranks, you don't become super powerful. You become better on average, but you don't become like super powerful or unwieldy at 8th level, 9th level, 10th level. Okay. And when the characters get more and more dice ranks, they get these dice pools of dice, but you still keep the highest and then you can explode. So on average, they get better and do it, but they can still fail. And they still have that trepidation of failing, not just with a nat 1, at some point, your 10th level in D&D or whatever, and you got plus 14 or 15, and you're only really a miss when you roll a nat 1 or something or whatever. It's just a little more constricting to me, and it feels a little more, with all the stuff. Whereas in mine, I just love this because I have characters that have played 60, 70 episodes, and then we can have a new character come in. No big deal. It's not a big deal. I mean, that new character will have 3 or 4 die ranks and stuff, 1 or 2 die ranks and stuff, and then the others will have 12 die ranks. But again, they're gonna do a dice pool and possibly fail. Now I have these cool little. I used an AI to help me write these little JavaScripts, and then I kind of learned how to arrange them a bit and kind of learned a little Java there while I'm doing it. I have no Java skills, but I asked an AI to do it, and he helped me out, or he or it or whatever. But here you can put in like let's say I have an awareness of 4 for aiming, for shooting, and then I have. Well, that right there is 5 and 3. So the D8 is 3, right? So I must have 8 die ranks in to hit. No holier power dice, which is like an extra fun little thing. This is a Christian role-playing game, so that's what that means. And it's going to keep the highest, right, of the D12 and the D8. And I now roll, and you can see. So what I rolled was I don't have the. Oh wait, down here, 16. 16. So 4 and 8 plus the 4 I have for my trait is 16. So yeah, that's pretty good. See, this could have been a low. I could have easily rolled a 2 and a 3 on these two and missed or whatever it was. So I do love the range of using a dice pool like this, having a D20 for your regular obviously roll, and then you have your little dice pool of with your die ranks. And here's the thing with die ranks too. I love this about these die ranks. Is that you can keep adding die ranks. And I, as a GM, I'm not really concerned about that. And I love the way that the characters really try to add die ranks to their rolls. Now in combat, it should go quickly, and I do it as quick as I can. But a lot of times they'll do engineering, or they're going to do praying, or they're going to do evangelism, or they're going to do trading, and they try to gather as many die ranks together as they can for their rolls, and then do that one big epic roll for that effect. And I like it because whenever I do die ranks as a GM, I describe every die rank. So, my example being a cliff. If you're climbing a cliff, it's really high. So if it's really high, I'm going to say 3 die ranks. Oh, it's wet, 4 die ranks. Oh, it's raining, 5 die ranks, So what does that mean? 5 die. Okay, so since I said 5 die ranks, that's a D12. I roll that. 7 added on to the default of 12. 12 is a default difficulty number. 7 because of all the descriptors I said, and I do that in front of them, and I roll a 7. 12 is 19, so it takes a 19. You need to roll a 19 to get up there. Now guess what they're gonna do? Okay. Oh, I'm wearing my. Oh, I forgot. This is important. Just because I'm just coming up with on the fly on this. What armor are they wearing? Oh, you're wearing full-on power armor. Well, okay. I'm going to add another D12 because your power armor is a D12 armor save, right? So that's 5 die ranks. So I'm going to say that the 5 die ranks I described plus the 5 die ranks of his armor, I'm going to re-roll, pick 11. So see, so their armor affects maneuvers and stuff. And that's what I love about this as well, that you can just use their armor rating, add it to your difficulty modifier whenever they do maneuvers. Not every maneuver, but just ones that, are treacherous or extreme or whatever. I add their armor roll to my penalty roll, the difficulty, and it makes it harder for them. So that is my answer to them having better armor. The counter is that it makes it harder for them to do maneuvers. So the 12 plus 11 is 23. So now with the power armor, he's got to go up to 23. But check this out. Let's say he's in power armor. Well, my power armor has a +2 die rank climbing gyros. Okay, you get 2 die ranks there. It also gives me a +1 to my prowess, and that's right. It's a power armored +1. These are kind of magic-y things about it. Then he can say, I also have skill in climbing +2 die ranks. Oh, I'm going to use some of my inspired die. And then maybe the priest or the nun or clergy, whoever, I'm going to bless you. 4 die ranks. Oh, cool. What else? Oh, we've got a rope. And it's going up there, and that's a 1 die rank. No, but it's just that special rope that's a +1 die rank itself. Oh, okay, so that's 2 die ranks. See, so they totally work on adding on all these things to make sure that they, get, let's say he gets 12 die ranks, or 13 die ranks, And so what's 13 die ranks? That's easy. It's 5, 5, and 3. So 5 is D12, another 5 is a D12, and 3 is a D8, right? So then they roll that as a dice pool. Here, I'll just do it on my little tool here. Here I even have a tool to create. What did I say? So 13, 13 right there. But it's it's D12, D12, and a D8. But 13 die ranks. Calculate that out. D12, D12, D8, and I even have it where it copies in the clipboard. This is a Foundry tool. By the way, if you want to play my game and you're using Foundry, and you're going to do stuff on YouTube or whatever, and you want to do For the Lord RPG, let me know. I will help you out and get you all this stuff, because I am looking for GMs and shows and people doing it better than me. Why? Because I believe this is a ministry. I believe this is us Christians showing the world missionary work. I know it's in a silly way. It's in a role-playing game, but so what? We're not perfect. I don't believe I'm perfect. I don't believe you're perfect. I believe that when we do stuff for the Lord, we are imperfect, but we try our best, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And I am a Christian, Calvin, creation, curmudgeon. So, but I wanted to play the role-playing game, or write stories, or do entertainment for the Lord, and I want to show that we can do it for the Lord and have fun, but at the same time create the psyche of a missionary in our games and in what we do in our representations. And what I like too about this too is when players play and I've had kids stutter, blurt, babble the gospel in this game. I think now 6 or 7. I don't play with that many young kids, but when I have, I've had 2 at this homeschool convention do it, 2 or 3. I've had 2 sons do it on online, which are recorded, but I'm not going to upload it to YouTube because I feel weird about having doing kids. But the dad who's a pastor said he's all for it, but I haven't done it. Anyway, I've had some others. So I've had kids say the gospel, not say Jesus loves me, or whatever, or anything, but actually try to say the gospel. And they said it, and they wanted to. I had one kid, 2 brothers. One wanted to be a priest. The other just wanted, I just want to be a guard or whatever, And I'm like, But then at the end, he wanted to try the gospel on this witch that they had caught and had her in a cage, because they didn't know how to support her. It's a post-apocalyptic thing. But he said, I want to go talk to her. I'm like, oh, okay. And he tried to speak. Do you know about Jesus? Do you know about just. That's what this is about. And I don't want perfection. I don't even want sacred. I am not here for sacred. If you want sacred, go for it. I don't want sacred. I just want you and me to try and make mistakes. I want us to make mistakes. I'm not, I'm getting gruff from people who think that I shouldn't be doing this because it's a game. I'm like, well, when should I do it? When I'm perfect? Because I'm not, Anyway, so what I have down here, D12, and I have it on my clipboard. It does it automatically. So there's the roll. Let's say the power armor guy's climbing, and he collected 13 die ranks, plus his I'm gonna say 5. His prowess, 4 for his trait, and he gets a very rare +1 from his power armor to. So yes, his power armor is disadvantage. I think at a disadvantage because it's power armor. It's a big bulky thing, but of course it has these counter things that climbs it up. He'd probably argue me, why do I get the penalty and then I get the penalty? Well, that's the game. Okay. And you can engineer. I would tell him too. Your buddy who's the engineer can engineer that you reduce down that disadvantage to your treasure strain. You just got to do some serious rolls, man. And you can do that in this game too. You can reduce the let's say he's always getting the 5 die ranks or D12 penalty to his maneuvers in the power armor. He could actually design, have an engineer work on designing how to lower that. And I got stats for that or whatever. I just use die ranks. I just use the die ranks in reverse. All right. I'm going off on all these tangents because I can't. I love this game. I can do it. And by the way, on all that I'm showing you, I'm not looking at any tables. I don't have to go back to any of the pages. It's all based on die ranks. Like all the treacherous terrain stuff, all the descriptors is just me describing it and adding die ranks and then rolling out die ranks as these dice pools. So here's the roll. Let's see if he makes it up. And I said 23 was the difficulty. He's got to beat a 23. So this is a tough roll. I mean, we'll see. Here we go. Oh yeah, he did it. 32. Oh, jeez. Not only did he do 32, and he got an exploding dice, he adds another 8. Because this is 27 plus 5 is 32, right? And then the 8, he gets exploding dice, another 8. So here's another part of the game that I love. 32, so 40 is his total. 40 is his total. Okay, so yeah, these are high rolls. I mean, and remember he's got a gyro power armor with gyros and blessings and bonuses and all this stuff. Here's another cool thing. I will allow for, and I can do this is called a die rank result. How high of a roll did you succeed by, right? So then, in him climbing up, how high of a roll did he succeed by? So he did a 40. And he had to beat a 23, right? So here's this. The difficulty was 23. And it's very simple. It's the difference, which is, what is this? 40? No, so 40. 40. The difference is 17. Half of 17 is 8, right? 16, 8. So he gets 8 die rank bonus. He gets an 8 die rank bonus. All right, let me do it right here. Yeah, so 8.5, but at the bottom here. Is just a handy little calculator there if you need it, because sometimes I'm in the game and we're just going crazy. And now the die rank result is optional. It's an optional thing you can do as a GM, and I would say don't do it initially, and then as you get better and better at the game, start using it. But you can definitely use it in certain things like prayers, because let's just say this is a prayer thing, and the result was the 8 die ranks. Not the decimal there, but the 8 die ranks. And the result is the 8 die ranks. Those die ranks are then dispersed amongst the other players as inspired die, right? If you're trying to heal someone and the result is 8 die ranks, you now can roll that as the healing that you did upon that person. So 8 die ranks for a person would be a D12 and a D8, right? So let me just put it in here for the fun of it. This one, this is just a simple, for that thing. Actually, I'm going to add them together, so never mind. So. For healing, you add them together. D8 and D12 is 14. You heal them 14. Wow, that's a lot, actually. Okay. Because by the way, the hit points in the game, which are called vitality, are around 14, 16, 20, 30, and 40 is like really high and for creatures and big monsters. So this game is not grueling, combat and demigods or anything. It's lethal and at a it's dangerous. And I love that about it. And thankfully though, there's a denouement roll, so that a lot of times people will give up. You don't have to murder hobo everybody, and you don't want to. You're trying to beat them. If they're very violent, you're just trying to beat them until they surrender, and then you can speak the gospel to them. Hopefully, that's the whole point. So okay, so climbing the power armor, climbing the cliff. He succeeded 40 because he exploded dice. Minus the 23 is 17. Half of that is 8. So 8 die ranks is his bonus. Now, what do you do with that climbing up? Well, you give it to him and say, when you get up there, you can attack. Maybe there's a bad guy. You can use it to attack him, or maybe you want to help the next person coming up. You get the 8 die ranks. You can give it to them as you help them, or or maybe they saw the way you got up there, and then they get that 8 die rank bonus to climb up because they saw your path. Or maybe you can use it to scout out the area. So you can use the bonuses in this game like that. I don't do it in combat because I want the combat to go quickly. But as far as like doing roles where you can do that and you have the time and and the story and the narrative, you can do die rank results. How much they succeed by, half of that is then rewarded for the next role. And don't keep continuing the die rank results over and over and over and over for everything they do. At some point it stops and then you move on to the next thing. And it should be for that next moment, right? It's not inspired die that you can save. It's just for that next moment. Okay. I hope you're following along because I'm just babbling and enjoying myself. We have ship combat in this game. I think that is incredibly unique. I don't know any sci-fi game that does this. I mean, let me know if you know any. But in the game, every ship is a battle map. So you're running here. I just go to the game because they just had a battle. No, not that one. That's the church on the floating platform here. So they just had a space battle. And look at this. They're in a ship. There's the bad guys. There's some starfighters that all got blown up because they don't know how to be super defensive when they're flying. One of the characters is about to fly out into space. One of the other characters here is she's running back to get to her cart to then send it out to rescue him. There's another guy over here on the missile launcher. He's stuck between the shuttle and the thing. Another guy is over here on a laser, and she was actually on a laser. Oh, this laser got blown up, and a pilot was doing his thing. So, ergo, we have a cool, a battle map, and I could easily have this ship come into this ship, and they have a boarding. This is how awesome Christians in Space is. You can't do this, pagans. This is not your game. Only Christians. And by the way, he does piloting or comlinks die rank result. The die rank result, like let's say the same role here, it gets 8 die ranks. He can disperse that amongst the gunners or the defense of the ship, which makes sense, right? If you're a pilot and you're flying really well, you can help line up shots for your shooters, or you could be all defensive. So that's what the die ranks do. Then he can add that to the defense, or he can give it to the other players for their shooting. So everyone gets to a role in the game, and it gets to have an effect on bonuses or whatever. Over here, we have, look at they shot up some stuff. Yes, every ship has parts. Let me click on the ship here. This is a smaller token. So this is their ship, and they have 20 parts. So when they hit, I do a random part unless someone's specifically aiming, but I don't have the NPCs aim. They just have them random, and it's fun. So this is all the parts of the ship, and they randomly, and look, parts of the ship have been upgraded to have plus three die ranks. So whenever they do prayer, they get plus 3 die ranks in the chapel. They got a workshop here with its plus 1 die rank. Whenever they fix something, there you can use the workshop. They got a med lab with plus 1 die rank. So whenever they do any healing, they get plus 1 die rank. So you can add up. Now this part of the ship has more hull. They've actually upgraded these parts so they can withstand more damage because it's an engine and the drives. And yes, if the drives go out, your ship is disabled. And under controls, which is obviously their most important thing, they have a power armor. They've increased the armor on it. They had to do upgrades to do that and roll forward, and they had to use parts. The corridor, the corridor and the gunnery have actually been taking damage. Actually, this gunnery is out. It's taken 6 damage because their hull, every part of the ship only has 6 hit points. Yep, think about it. They have a save of D12 because it's metal, but if it gets through that metal, it takes damage on the ship, and then makes the part null or void, whatever. Yeah. Okay, So, that's that. And again, whenever they roll to hit, they can aim if they want, but I make then I add another die rank to the defense of the ship if they're aiming to hit these other guys, the specific parts, or they will shoot and I will roll a random spot, and that's what they've been mainly doing. This is a gun frigate. It's very tough. They had a really hard time fighting it because the armor on it is a D12 D6. That's power armor. That's super crazy. I probably went a little too far on that, but so what. Great little, and then they have 10 parts, and they almost took out the controls. Look at that, almost took it out. It's -3, the hull is 8, but they kept hitting other parts and didn't really destroy it. And by the way, this is a gun frigate, so it doesn't have like the med lab and and any of the other stuff. It's just a local sort of star system type of ship. It's a retaliation. Pirates are doing a retaliation attack on the Christians because the Christians took out their gladiator pirating ring, and the pirates are gonna fight back, just like Democrats. They're gonna fight back when you push on their evil. So there they are, and they even have a boarding these security bots they were gonna board, but I think the fight's not going their way. So I rolled a denouement roll, and they're gonna try to flee. Actually, is what I rolled here. So let me show you the character sheet because this is the older character sheet, or yeah. I haven't updated it. That's strange, which is fine. I mean, I just did more I made it look like it's kind of graphics. This is the new updated graphics. This look right here, but they're using the older one, which is fine because it's probably better, easier to read. Okay, so here's the character sheet for Slasher, and so she does have a +4 for prowess, which is. I've grandfathered her in, but I think women should have no more than a +3. Women are weaker in this game because I want women in the game. I don't want women acting like men. I want women in the game being women. I don't want women wielding battle axes in wheelchairs or whatever they have in D&D. I don't want that because you're actually erasing what women do and who they are, and just saying that's equality to a pagan is erasing women. So I want women in the game to be what women are in real life, and then they can roleplay that. They're mothering, they're caring. I have been down about 72 times in my marriage, bedridden or injured or whatever, and my wife has had to take care of me. She's been down once for cancer, and I tried to take care of her, but I did a terrible job of it. And she had a major surgery. She's fine now, but she was down once. I was down 72 times, okay, and she took care of me. So that's reality, and I want women in the game to find the strength in womanhood, not find the strength by erasing womanhood and then pretending to be men. I just don't want that. So that's what I am and I get a lot of, it's weird. I get gruff on this, like from Christian role-playing game people. I don't care. Anyway, she's got a bunch of skills here. She's come up with, armor making, ballistic engineer, power melee weapon upgrade. She actually catered her skills to help out one of the other characters. She also has women's intuition. This is a skill I don't know what it is. She made it. I don't know what it is or how it works, but there it is. Mothering. She has mothering. I definitely know that one. And she has. This is her gear. You can carry 2 heavy. She has a chainmail equivalent suit. Okay. Robo wrench, riot shield, whatever. So she has. You can carry 4 lights, 3 hit mediums, 2 heavies. And you can also do a backpack and a gun holster, which actually she should probably do. She doesn't seem to have one here, but anyway, so I think she needs to update her stuff here. But whatever. Okay. Oh, she got a utility belt. Okay. Whatever. Okay. So here's her weapons. I mean, it's look at it. It's a pretty basic character sheet. This has everything. I think this is the most advanced character and sheet anyway. I'm a 45-year GM veteran. This character has been played 60 episodes or whatever, 50 or 60. 79 glory points. She hasn't spent 11. What is her problem? She's got claws, which she's never really uses those. She's got laser gun, rubber wrench. Her prowess is +3, +4 now. So I should switch this. I'm gonna let her switch it. Oh no, these are all awareness. No, whatever. But she's she's a little high here in the 4. I think that should be a 3, but whatever. 60 episodes. She's increased her traits, obviously, because they're all bonuses now, because you start with some negatives, which is fine. She got 5 die ranks, which is a D12 in faith points. She's kind of a bit of a nun, got a bit of a nun thing there. She's got a robo wrench, laser gun. I don't know, man. I just love this game. You're in it. You're in the ship. You're running around. You can do different things. You can go work in the laboratory, med lab, science lab, bunker. You can cook, and they've rolled where they cook something, and then you get the die rank bonuses, and then you can disperse those amongst the people because they had great meals. So this one gets 2 die ranks, this one gets 2, and then they can use those, in their missions and stuff. We've got planets here. This is a planet. This is a platform hovering above the planet, and down below is an ice world. And this is a great starter planet for role playing Cruise of Space because of the sort of the simplicity of the storyline, and things are separated out, so you could have some adventures on the platforms, encountering different places on the platforms, or you could go down to the planet, which is like a frozen planet, and go down into the mines, which are all like emptied out, or ancient ruins and haunted. Well, not really haunted, but haunted by mutant bugs and stuff that are living in the mines. And I'll show you just real quickly a couple of these mines. And I have it in my book here. It's on all of this too is on Amazon. So this game. The PDF's on my website, or you can get the print books on Amazon. But let me show you guys some of the maps for this Bernard Star. This is here, mining ruins. Here's one. Oh, where's the background? Where's the background off? Did I move it? Oh, I might have changed it to a different file. Yeah, web. I think I did a web file. Let me get this one. This one here. Here it is. And this is a simple mine, kind of like a short, quick adventure. They land here. And then this is all hidden, by the way. Let me just see if I can do this just to show you. All of this is underground right here, so I could just hide it. So they only see this part right here, and then they go start. And by the way, my game is based off of modular, so you can make any kind of mine you want. Here, let me show you another one. Oh yeah, it's missing the same thing. Missing the file. So see, this is another one they went through. This is all underground, this part right here. And then they searched around and found things and found a scary creature here. Ah! Very cool adventuring. Little beast worms. There they are there, actually, some of them. Other creatures here. Let me find this other mine. So I would randomly set up mines for them to do, do a little dungeon crawling style game, to take a break from evangelism, because they're evangelizing. This is a church on this platform. Here they are. And look, there's a Christmas tree. They had a Christmas celebration. They converted a witch who is over, where is she? She was the red cult witch who kind of ran and enslaved these people. Where is she actually? Did she? Oh, I know where she is. She is on this ship right here. There she is. And she's going around doing missionary work on the planet, helping them build the churches and plant churches and spread churches on a spaceship, dealing with the other platforms, the other togas that are living there on their isolated platforms, and dealing with their cannibalism, recycling, it's kind of silliness. Well, because they had to survive, but she's teaching them and providing them with food, or not just her, other missionaries that are non-player characters. And then when you're playing this game as a missionary, your goal is to set up a church and then move on to your next adventure, right? So when they set up a church on this planet and then got it going, and it's also a base they can return to and get help and get some supplies maybe or whatever. And I have a bunch of rules in there to do that. You can do some bookkeeping. I mean, if you're into bookkeeping, you can do bookkeeping where all the churches are growing, and they have random rolls every week or whatever, and then they can go stronger or weaker, and they could get attacked, and then players might have to come back and help them. Or if it gets really strong and successful, they could send them supplies extra. They get like an extra bonus from them that they can then use for their story. And right now I have This Is the Known Galaxy. I've got a campaign book that covers this area right here with all these different planets. Um, I have another one that covers this area over here. I have two campaign books, or no, one campaign book that covers these two sections. And there's a very scary stuff going on over here with mutant marauders and some remnants living out there. So I am purposely trying to get this done as a Star Wars, to fill in that Star Wars void that we all love. We all love Star Wars and swashbuckling adventures as Christians, but obviously it's pagan and ignores and teaches us to be pagan. All this entertainment where we don't put Christianity in it, role-playing games, whatever, teaches us to be pagan. It gives us the mindset of a pagan in our games, how we talk, how we fellowship, how we socialize, what we expect. And I am finding that every Christian that plays D&D is a little to a lot antagonistic to what I'm doing. I just want to put our faith in the game. And they say that's, like recently a guy said it was blasphemy. I'm like, he's promoting D&D or whatever, promoting Dungeons and Dragons, promoting D&D. I promote a Christian role-playing game. I'm the blasphemer. Because Christianity is so sacred to him that you can't use it. I'm not allowed to do it. I'm a blasphemer. So those get under my skin the most. People like that. That didn't even ask me about the game. He just be whatever. Okay. I'm going to be a Christian who has Christ in everything I do, glory of Christ in me. I'm not sacred or perfect, and what I do is not sacred or perfect, and it never will be. And the Great Commission is not about us doing something for the Lord. The Great Commission is not about us doing something for the Lord. The Great Commission is God giving us something to do, because we're idiots, we're doofuses, we're sinners. He's giving us, Jesus is giving us something to do. If you want to do something, okay, you could let people know about. What I mean by that too is that God's in control, right? So he doesn't need us to save anybody. He can, but since we love him, we want to serve him, and we're going to do it imperfectly. So I would rather you go out and do it than wait till you're perfect or sacred, right? Shouldn't you go out and do things for the Lord right now, joyfully? You got to figure out what it is for you joyfully to do, and just go for it, and don't care about what people think of you. I don't care about what that everyone thinks about me, even other Christians. I mean, I want to get it right. I don't mind Christians that help me and teach me and fellowship with me and help iron sharpening iron. That those Christians I don't mind, for sure. So anyway, so this is the game. I mean, it's got a bunch of different planets that are out there. Ooh, let me show you one real quick. Don't go here. Ooh, this is an Imperial space yard. Oh, it's missing the background as well because I updated the files to be WebP files. They were all PNGs, and I'm just updated it, but I can find it right now. If I can remember which one I was using. I was using this one. Look at this. Oh yeah, there it is, a space station floating in space. Why don't I? Look at that. This is an Imperial. I haven't fully furnished it and decked it out with the Imperial people, but yes, there is an empire. They're the atheists. Oh, by the way, this Christian sci-fi is biblically adherent. 2500 AD, the atheists have gone out to terraform all the planets. They left Christians in the prison camps on Earth and bombed and nuked the Earth, thinking they destroyed it, but the Christians survived. 2200 AD to 2300 AD, and the 2300 AD is my post-apocalyptic re-Christianizing the Earth, the new Earth, and then not biblical new Earth, just post-apocalyptic, or not Christian apocalyptic nuclear thing. So I'm basically asking Jesus to come back around 2700 AD. I'm just asking if he could push it back a little bit. Although I'd like him to come back now. But anyway, in this timeline that I have, there's a post-apocalyptic 2300 AD, and then this is 2500 AD, like 200 years later after that, because the atheists had gone out from at 2200 AD to go out onto the planets and terraform. And the reason I'm purposely constricting that time frame like that and condensing it, which is to me isn't, because every 100 years is an amazing leap forward for us, dramatically. 100 years ago from today was the Roaring 20s, right? They're still using kerosene and crude oil, and you know what I mean. Blah blah blah. No rockets yet, or you know what I mean. Not. So every 100 years, I'm trying to say that because of creation science that we don't need a million years or a billion years or whatever for things to change. They can happen quite quickly in a matter of a few 100 years or 200 years, 300 years. So anyway, especially when you've got these super AIs going around to every planet terraforming them, and that's a bit of a sci-fi extrapolation, but here, let me show you another one just for the fun of it. Oh man, I got global slave mines. What is this one even done? Oh, I don't think I finished this one. I think I need to make some underground slave mines here. But my globals are basically a takeoff of in Star Wars, the big fat wormy guys. Oh my gosh, I already forgot their names. The globals. What are they called? You know what I'm talking about. The Hutts. Man, I'm already. My mind is already erasing all the Star Wars stuff. I delved into that big time, like heavily. Okay, I think I was gonna make some kind of a. Oh man, I gotta work on this later. Okay, but this is like a planet thing right here. They can go exploring here in this alien environment. See that? Oh jeez, I ruined all these. I mean, I didn't ruin it, but I changed all of the PNG files to WebP, and I forgot about that. This one is what? This one. And it doesn't fit the whole screen. Well, it fits this one. Okay, but anyway, there's another planet. I'm using Space Engine to do the imagery, like the planet surfaces, and I'm actually going to the actual planet in Space Engine, which is like NASA-y accurate space planets, and going there and then doing screenshots. And I bought the Pro version so I can do it, and actually getting the actual Space Engine version of that planet and using it as long as it looks pretty accurate to what I want, and I'm creating the worlds based on the planets, like the ones that look like they're doable. Water world, rock world, ice world, all that. So these are all the actual planets. I'm using the actual planets out there. This map, I actually doodled this from Space Engine Pro, the map here. So this is all from actual. I hope that me using like Wolf 1060 and Bernard Star, and Leyland, is my sci-fi, doesn't, mess up any copyright or whatever because of the astronomers or whatever who discovered all these planets and stuff. But oh well, I probably should do my own sci-fi names, but I enjoy those names. Hope they don't mind, the ones that are still around. Anyway, I'm sure most of them are Christian, or a lot of them are. Anyway, so I just wanted to do another fun little blab about the Christian role-playing game. It's on, and this is the older version. This is the campaign one, but I have better graphics in it, like the grayish and the dirty sort of grime. But this is what I do too. This is the campaign. I try to do 2 pages that has everything you need for that setting, that little encounter, and what the little setup is. So everything's sort of right here, like on these 2 pages. Like that's just a reference to a bunch of different generic. But here, Leyland Star is this is the space station right here, and the planet's information. This is the ship systems, like what they can offer is high-end stuff. Here's a derelict mining hauler that they can discover, and then this is just all the info that you have for that one adventure or whatever. Here's the mining consortium, which is kind of like a bad group that's going to start messing with them and stuff because they're a greedy corporation. Let me just go to some other planet spreads. Well, I've got some up here. Planet Direwolf. This is like, okay, so this is information, and then here's the main information of the space station, and all the different people. And this is just extra, factions that you could encounter in the space station. Let's see. Here is, well, this is a good adventure. This is 2 pages. I think it's just 2 pages. Yeah, and then this is one about Planet Salakwa, with one town, the information on that planet, and then this town, and then this is just creatures and more stuff that you can. And this is another adventure for this town. So I try to make it so they're right there, all the information. I even put, if I use the reptilian raiders here, and then I use the reptilian raiders over here, I kind of try to put that with it so that you have it pretty. The information repeats because I want it to be accessible there, all on the same page, or pretty close, kind of a thing. These books, I'm not only the creator, I use them. I actually use these. I use these. I use this game. I love it. I don't want, I used to love D&D and all these other RPGs, but I'm free. I just don't want to use any of them. And I don't like how many rules they have. Look, my books are very thin. This is my Dark Ages. Oh, this is the campaign one, but the rule book is the same size. I got my key here. I was using it earlier. So here's my Christians in Space. This is all the rules you need to play the game. I mean, and it's not even, a lot of it is not even rules. This is spaceships, vehicles, everything you need to play the game. Making a character, combat, maneuvers, whatever. As opposed to Star Wars, which are super thick, and I don't even like the system anymore. And here's another thing that Star Wars has to do, RPG. I should do a mean Christian complaint about all the games, but in the Star Wars RPG, the way they solve something, which I think is ridiculous, is that when you have higher level, like Darth Vader, they put him at Adversary 3 or whatever. So instead of doing skills like the characters, like you have skills, they have the skills, but then they have Adversary 3. Well, what does that mean? Well, it's 3 times harder to fight him. So you have to get 3 penalties off for that. I'm like, what? Why isn't that in the skills? Because the skills after a certain while break. They're too unwieldy. So they just add an Adversary 3 or an Adversary 2 to the, on top of, the characters and their skills. I'm just like, because you can only go to 5 on the skills, with the dice pool they have. Whereas mine, you can go to 12, 15, it's expensive, but you can do it. And it's because it's a dice pool, it doesn't get overpowering. It doesn't they can still fail. They can still. Anyway, I just wanted to babble on about the game. I don't even know if this, but there's my Christians in Space game. I hope you will check it out on Amazon or on my website and get the PDF. I gotta update that PDF. I forgot. And I will send it to everybody that has bought it. The updated PDF. I'm pretty excited about all that. It's a little the I'm gonna confess something up. In the Dark Ages rulebook, it's much simpler. The rules, I simplified it all, cleaned it all up. In the sci-fi one, in the APOC, it's got the older sort of patchwork of the rules, same rules, but more patchworky because I was playtesting and writing fixes all along the way. But in the Dark Ages, I literally got rid of it all and wrote it all very simple. So the Dark Ages one has the rules in a simple explanation, whereas the other 2 are still the older version of the rules. Same rules, just the explanations are more wordy in the sci-fi and the APOC one. But I'm too tired to fix it right now or change it. I feel like I'm going to redo the whole thing at some point in the near future, in a year or 2. Like edition 2 or edition 3, whatever. And I'm going to say, I don't think I'm going to change much. I'm just going to rewrite the whole thing and organize it or whatever, but not change much of the rules, because I'm just, unless I do something simpler, but I don't want to know. But if I do it simpler, it's going to, shrink all the expansive options in the game, which I guess in today's world is maybe probably okay to do. But anyway, because this game is kind of designed like you could do a long-term game with the characters and keep going with them. Anyway, all right, that's my little just tired tired, a little late in the early evening. Actually, I got things going on, and got to get ready for the night and have a nice evening tonight. All right, in the game of life, everybody, roll holy dice.